Anda kembali lagi menyaksikan segmen Take a Look di Profit CNBC Indonesia. Dan kita lanjutkan kembali dialog bersama dengan Managing Director ASEAN Amazon Web Services, Conor McNamara. Okay, so moving on, the development of the digital economy will require a lot of talent or quality of human resources. So is it easy to find the resources needed for the industry in Indonesia? And will Amazon play a role in providing human resources that can maybe support the digital ecosystem in Indonesia?
Yeah, great question, Monica. First of all, look, I think we're in a supply side or a skills constrained market globally, not just in Indonesia. And to back that up, we at AWS made a commitment in December of this year at our global reInvent conference to train 29 million additional people globally on the AWS cloud by 2025. So it's a huge global significant importance for us. In Indonesia, back in 2019, when we pre-announced the region, we made a commitment to train hundreds of thousands of Indonesians on the AWS cloud by 2025, and we're well on our way to that journey. So far, we've trained over 200,000, and that's great progress, I think, over the last number of years. And we've got various programs underway to bring that to life. We're focused, obviously, on training, the individuals in our customers of today, and we're localizing our curriculum into Bahasa Indonesia for our various certification courses. We're localizing our exams. We're focused also on signing up with training partners to make sure we get the reach across the country. We signed up with Die Coding, a really exciting partnership focused on engaging with developers and providing a cloud curriculum to them through a certification program. But we're also focused on I guess, engaging with the next generation of Indonesian builders, which is really important to us to support our long-term orientation about how we think about the business. And we've also kicked off this program called Laptops for Builders, which provide laptops to second-level students across Indonesia so that they can begin their cloud journey really, really early. And so overall, we've made a lot of progress. Certainly, it's important. If you want cloud to be a democratizing force on the economy and society, you certainly have to upskill as many people as you can, and it's certainly a charter we're very committed to at AWS.
Okay, moving on, Conor, we do know that Amazon already has a number of customers in Indonesia, big names like you mentioned. So how do they use the cloud to maybe optimize their business?
Yeah, look, there's so many different ways I think customers can derive value from the cloud that I mentioned earlier. So let me just, it really depends on whether you're an enterprise that have been around for maybe 50, 60 years. And of course, if that's the scenario, you have a lot of legacy technical debt. And so moving that infrastructure to the cloud is a big priority for a lot of enterprises. And we saw that with the likes of Trikindo. But also you have startups. And if a startup starts today, or any business starts today, in all likelihood, they will be cloud native by default. And so a couple of startups that I talk about, number one would be Traveloka. Traveloka has been one of our kind of poster customers and really important customers for us here for many, many years. And we've worked closely over a number of years on their journey. And it's been great to see them expand from a very travel-centric app to a super app, embraced in many different lines of businesses over the last couple of years. And one thing we were really excited to work with them on was the launch of their Traveloka Eats business. They work very closely with our prototyping team. We helped to co-create what that might look like. And then they're using serverless AWS technology, such as AWS Lambda, to scale up and scale down quickly and support the really, really fast growth of that business. Another interesting one and topical one right now is HelloDoc. HelloDoc originally moved to the cloud to reduce the cost of running their infrastructure. They were previously on premises and they moved to the cloud and they got significant savings. They were also able to build and launch improvements to their application 30% faster on AWS than they were able to do on an on-premise environment. And then, of course, over the course of the pandemic, they've been able to embrace, pivot their business model again to support the nation's response to the COVID-19 pandemic. So, many exciting scenarios of where organizations are, responding to what's around them. And I think the big part that the cloud offers is that it gives you this ability to react quickly to the changing world around you in a way that just wasn't possible in a pre-cloud world.
Okay, Connor, moving on to challenges, what are the biggest challenges facing businesses and of course, organizations in adopting the cloud here in Indonesia? And what is your advice for businesses who are planning to adopt the cloud technology?
I think it's not so much a challenge, it's about how you grasp the opportunity as quickly as possible. And, I think there's, again, it depends on where you're starting from. If you're as I said, if you're an enterprise with a lot of legacy and you have a large data center that you need to close over time, or you have existing contracts, it takes time to unwind those and you need to be thoughtful about that. Whereas if you're a startup, obviously it's very different. You're cloud native from day one and you can kind of embrace the cloud early in that journey. But the advice I would give, first of all, is train your teams. I cannot stress enough the importance of investing in skills and training, because knowledge is power, and applied knowledge on the cloud is really, really powerful in this day and age. The other thing I'd say is don't complexify, or don't get stuck in an analysis paralysis world. We see many examples where enterprises or government institutions still try to procure technology and infrastructure in a way that they would have in a very traditional, when they're making a long-term fixed contractual commitment. In the cloud, because of the commercial model that we offer, it gives you a huge amount of flexibility to experiment, test, learn, iterate, and I'd encourage people to really, really get into that as early as possible in their journey. And I think the last thing I would say is, set ambitious goals, and not just ambitious cloud goals, but link those goals to ambitious business goals. Because, large and very, ambitious top-down goals galvanize an organization and bring the team together. And what we've seen for the cloud to be a truly transformative force, you need all elements of an organization working cohesively together. We talk a lot about cloud fluency and building cloud fluency from the boardroom to the C-level to the line of business to IT. I think that's super important. And if you can anchor that around some ambitious business goals, I think that's super important and a very compelling way to move the business forward.
Okay, very interesting discussion. Thank you very much for your time with us today, Connor. Have a very good day to you.
Thanks very much, Monica. Appreciate it.